Because they are the Kentish Cup champions. Well, welcome back to Arbour Park, home of Slough Town FC, and this week the home of Europe's oldest football competition, the Kentish Cup. It's great to be here for a second helping of top military football. The French military team takes the stage today for the first time on meeting the Dutch in this second game. But here's what happened 48 hours ago when UCAF met the Dutch. Campbell, chance opportunity to score, and he has done. It's a beautiful shot, and it's a brilliant goal from George Bishop. Still challenging in the box. It's in! It's another brilliant goal, and this time it's George Bishop again with his second goal. Well, it was a great win for UCAF, wasn't it? 3-1, and that puts them very much in the box seat ahead of course, the final meeting on Friday with the French forces. But today is all about the Dutch against the French. The Dutch obviously anxious to get themselves back into this competition. But it's time now for the national anthems for both the Netherlands and also for France as well.
National Anthem of the Netherlands.
Anthems then as we prepare for the game this afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome once again Major Steve Clout, who's joining me from Army Football Association, Army FA, Assistant Secretary, kind of retired but still doing the job. Steve, welcome along.
Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here. I was delighted when you messaged me last week and asked me to join you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a great game.
We are looking forward to a good game. Let's run through these teams, shall we, as the handshakes are just made with the VIPs who are here today. We'll start with the Dutch because they had to make a couple of changes. Rolls van Belkom, who's the Dutch head coach, has had to make 2 changes there from the lineup against UCAF. Alex Tengvel van Wonderen, actually, he's a Dutch Navy, Dutch sailor. He was here on holiday, believe it or not, in the UK, so he played on Monday, but his ship was actually berthed in London, and he's had to join it, so he's had to leave and join his ship. Actually left the port of London today, apparently. So he's replaced by a man wearing number 25. That's Lucas Oudven, and he's actually come over from Spain to join the team. So this is a truly international lineup for the Dutch forces today. So that's their lineup today. The Dutch side obviously looking to get themselves back into the competition with obviously Jimmy Haas, who scored the penalty against UCAF in that 3-1 defeat on Monday. As far as the French team today, well, their team head coach, Francois Petit, he's actually brought 6 of the lineup who competed in the competition 12 months ago, including Quentin Sergey, who was the captain then, but there's a new captain today in Vincent Destiné, wearing number 8. Goalkeeper today is Victor Poisson, and there are quite several other players who were here before. Julian Lassalle is on the bench, Anthony Robic, also Rubbish on the bench, and Melvin Vieira as well, and Ladislas Dunyama as well. He's also there with Abdel Bouiaha and Quentin Sergey, as I mentioned. So those are the 6 who are well used to this competition. They played in the Kentish Cup last season. Some of them are on the bench, and we'll keep obviously keep an eye on how any changes that both coaches make during the course of the game. It's always difficult, isn't it, I suppose, for the Dutch, actually, Steve, because, you know, they lost that first game. They were a little bit passive, I thought, in the first half against UCAF. But when they got that penalty, they suddenly came right back into it and made a real fight of it on Monday.
A lot of the time it's about belief, and I guess that goal gave them the belief that they could get back in. Luckily for the UK team, they didn't. But hopefully that belief has rolled on to today's game, and they give the French a good game.
Well, on the official side today, we've got Ryan Heffrington, who is taking charge of this game, who's our UCAF official here, obviously the neutral referee, with Faisal Boudejada from France and Don Frian from the Netherlands. They are our assistant referees. Don running over here onto this near side of the pitch, and he'll be covering that side of the pitch, and then obviously with Faisal on the far side of the field from where our camera position is, facing the main stand here at Slough Town FC, and it's the French who get us underway for this crucial match for both. The French obviously very keen to get themselves a win here, because they beat the Dutch 5-0 in the corresponding fixture last season. But already an offside decision. In fact, the referee's just checking the ball because he doesn't think it's the right sort of... it looks like it might be a bit flat. So we've got a new ball coming on. So that must be a first in the Kentish Cup. I think it's the first time we've ever seen that, where a ball's been replaced after about 20 seconds. Dutch then will have the throw. Leemans takes it. these early challenges for the ball. That's Vincent Destinet, the captain, wearing number 8 for the French side. So they both push forward looking for these early opportunities. And goal difference could be important today. Of course, UCAF have a +2 now with that 3-1 win over the Dutch in the first game. As I say, the French, they actually scored a 5-0 win over the Dutch forces 12 months ago. So he who scores the goals, obviously that's a crucial part of the game today. And I think both teams just getting used to this 4G pitch here at Slough. And it's a true bounce, but sometimes it can catch players out if they've been spending most of their time on a grass pitch.
Yeah, so I think they've been training in Aldershot. The 3G, Army 3G over at Aldershot isn't quite at this standard, but they've been training on the 3G.
Lehman's in with the throw. Back to his captain. That's Mikael London, not the captain, I do beg your pardon. He's not the captain wearing number 19. The captain's wearing number 16 for the Dutch. They're all wearing squad numbers, of course. And just look out for Lucas Udven wearing number 25. So he's literally flown over from Spain to take part in the game here today. And in fact, Rolls van Belkin was telling me that it was a bit of a chase to get him here for the game. But it's good to see him, and they've got obviously a full lineup in their squad here. Live here on our Forces News YouTube channel and on Facebook as well, wherever you happen to be. Great to have your company this afternoon, and thank you for all of you who tuned in on Monday. Here's the French then on this near side with Dorian Ottelon. Still has the ball. Looking for someone inside in the midfield position. Bit of a claim for an injury, but in fact the ball shoots high and wide over the bar. So the first chance of this game goes to the French then. And they have a player wearing number 22. We don't actually have a number 22 in our squad lineup, so we'll have to check out who that gentleman is. But the French starting well here. Good competitive opening to this game. I think the French obviously have the benefit of having had a few extra days here in this area to get their training sessions underway. Really important for them to have that time together. The Dutch only flew in on Sunday night very late, so they didn't have a huge amount of preparation time before they took on UCAF on Monday. That's a charge through. That'll be safely into the hands, though, of the Dutch goalkeeper, Livensley van Velen. Out onto the far side. As the Dutch drive forward on that far side of the field. That's with their number 25, with Lucas Udven. Apologies, by the way, if you are watching in France and France and Holland today and Netherlands for my pronunciations, but we do our best. Even start to the game. The French have had that first opportunity. I think the club here were hoping that we were going to get a few youngsters. We had about 70 children here earlier on doing their training session here on this 4G pitch this morning. I think they were hoping, because it's half term, we were going to get a few young people coming in to watch the game today, but maybe the weather's put them off, Steve.
I think there's about 30 over the other side, and they look quite excited to be here. But yeah, I think it's a little bit chilly.
That's a good chase and really well collected there by Lesage. Inside to Dalot. But the Dutch now bring it forward. There's another really good challenge from Moussa Diallo. And here come the French once more. This is Lesage. Gets the cross in and hooked onto it and just over the bar. That was a really good move by the French there. And that was Alex Servan who was on the end of that. Well, if that had gone in, that would have been a cracking goal, wouldn't it, Steve?
Great move and very, very good finish, just slightly over the top.
So a couple of scares then for the Dutch early on in this first half. UCAF, no doubt, looking on. The UCAF team not here today. I think there's a couple of representatives, I think, in the stand there, but I think the lads are probably watching from their headquarters, wherever they're training, and we're keeping a very close eye on things. And that will be the first corner of the game, which will go to the Dutch side. Really good challenge there going in from Connell Balk, who wins the corner there. And the Dutch then have the first corner of the match. But it remains 0-0. Good in-swing corner. Goalkeeper makes the save, punches it clear. But it falls to Olsinium, and the French now have an opportunity on this right-hand side to break forward for them. And here's Custodio, plays it wide. Challenge though in the end, and the Dutch win it back. Quite an opening beginning to this game, Steve, which bodes well for a few goals perhaps.
Definitely, both teams are going for it.
Cross comes in, just a little bit too far on this near side from Vincent Destinet, the captain. I think he's got plenty of experience at this level, and he's certainly been a member of the team before. I remember watching him maybe a couple of years ago. I'm not sure he was involved in the last Kentish Cup, but he was certainly there in France 2 years ago when we saw the game. So this is the Dutch captain, Marcel Belladray. Goal kick referee brings it all back, and that will be a free kick to the Dutch. It's halfway inside their own half of the pitch. Lights are on from the word go here today. We didn't need the floodlights actually on Monday. That was played without the need for an extra bit of lighting, but it's a bit darker today here. It's been a wet old morning here in Slough. Dried up this afternoon just before kick-off, but we've had a few little showers kicking around as this low pressure goes through the country. But here's the French with Darlow again. Looks very comfortable on the ball. Low cross comes in, nicely collected, and it's just over the bar once more. Well, another opportunity for the French to cement an early lead in this game. They're looking very potent going forward, Steve.
They look like they're going to score every time they go forward, and that was a really good chance. I thought the goalkeeper might got a touch, but he didn't. Yeah, great shot, just over.
Just over the bar. Remains 0-0. But 3 opportunities now for the French military to take the lead. They look very determined and very dangerous, but just briefly an opportunity for Holland, for the Dutch Netherlands team. French, though, definitely controlling things. The flag hasn't gone up, but it'll end up in the hands of the goalkeeper. In fact, the flag does go up on that far side from Faisal Boujadada. Referee allows play to go on. Long ball forward, though, well dealt with by the French defence. It's Valentin Laurician, who is on this part of that. Looks like a back three they've got, doesn't it, Steve, for the French? Maybe with some overlapping wing backs.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're not the tallest of defensive lineups, though, against a really tall Dutch team. That'll be interesting. You know, if they've got some set pieces, they've already had one set piece. They've certainly got a height advantage of the Dutch. Good play from the number 20. Crosses in. Eventually cleared, though, by the French captain. And it's brought forward. And nicely onto this near side, but unfortunately for the French, Ottoman couldn't control it there. And so we have a a French central midfielder wearing number 22, and I can't tell you his name because the number 22 did not appear on their squad list. So we'll try and find that out for you, because it looks like he's already had one chance. He looked quite dangerous as well. So if anyone's watching who knows his name, maybe you're watching in France, you can just ping it through to us on YouTube, and we'll be able to enlighten everybody else, including myself here on commentary. Bit of head tennis going on in the centre of the field. There's Udvan back to his goalkeeper. Almost now to play. I don't think there'll be anything so far that will worry UCAF too much. The French look very dangerous on this left-hand side here. Seems to be a lot of their best work is coming through on the left-hand side. Started off by Lorichon, back to his goalkeeper, Victor Poisson. I wonder if he enjoys English fish and chips. And he's actually gone down, just taking that kick there. I wonder whether he's just pulled a muscle somewhere. He's certainly, it looks like he's holding his right ankle. And maybe it was the challenge that came in from the Dutch number 20. To be honest, I was watching the ball go.
Yeah, I watched the ball as well, but I think Ryan was watching the challenge, and I think he put his foot up and he kicked through, and they clashed. So Ryan doesn't seem to think that was any more than a free kick. Oh, it's a free kick. He's given a free kick.
Yeah, it was Ene Ulasinen who was responsible for that, number 20. But just a conversation that's been had. Now, French now with a real opportunity here inside. A great ball, just low into the box, causing a bit of confusion amongst the Dutch defence, but they do clear it away in the end. The French will have the throw taken very quickly. Nice control on that near side, but eventually the ball goes out of play for a throw-in. So it'll be a goal kick then to the Dutch, which they will take forward. Nice bit of control. French certainly dominating in midfield at the moment. The ball goes wide again onto this left-hand side. The chase on for Otteland, gets a low cross in, and it's another opportunity for the French, and this time it's Moussa Dallo who puts the ball out of the ground. I think we've already lost about half a dozen footballs, Steve, already, but the French looking very potent. They just need to be a bit more clinical in front of goal.
Yeah, I mean, they're getting closer and closer. Some great moves. They look very more composed on the ball, and look likely to score every time. It's just a matter of time now, I think.
And the thing is, you only get so many chances in the game, don't you? And you just wonder if they're squandering opportunities, whether that might come back to haunt them at some stage. And the Dutch have shown they can get back into a game, but again, they've been quite passive, haven't they, the Dutch team so far. This is very similar to the first half against UCAF on Monday. French enjoying all the possession at the moment. And that's going to run out of play. Unfortunate for them, because it was an opportunity there with Lesage. That'll be a throw to France, which will be taken by Valentin Lorichon. Good marshalling, good defensive work then from Andenier, just to shield the ball and guide it out of play. The Dutch once again building from the back, just playing the ball, playing out which they have done very successfully here. Here's Jimmy Haas. Won back though well by Darlow. Again, these potent French forwards there, very, very quick. And winning that those 50-50s, Steve, I think that's what's really impressed me so far. They are quickest on the ball, aren't they? And now on that right-hand side, but that's put out of play. Another ball goes out of the ground. And this time it will be a corner, the first corner of the game to the French forces. But still 0-0. Ortolan will take the corner. It's an in-swinger floating in. Good defensive work from the Dutch, eventually getting it clear. They need to make sure they do. That'll be, I think, a goal kick, yes. And successfully dealing with that particular issue. The ball hooked clear and a bit of a midfield tussle happening at the moment. And that will go out of play once more, and it'll be a Dutch throw. Ludwig will take it. He's certainly been involved in these early moments of the game. He'll want to make the most of his journey over from Spain, I think. Well, French have had all the opportunities so far, but it remains 0-0 in this second Kentish Cup game. If you're just joining us live here on Forces News, so we've just been playing just under 20 minutes of this first half. The Dutch have the throw. And for all their attacks and their possession, goalkeeper Van Wielen hasn't had to make a save yet. And here come the Dutch, spreading the play onto this right-hand side. Some good football from the Dutch, just playing it forward. They're looking for a bit of efficiency in front of goal. Opportunity comes in, and that was good work then from the Lisanen, and it has won a corner. That was good play from the Dutch there, Steve. You know, showing they've got composure on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been trying to play out from the back, and yeah, they are taking that extra millisecond on the ball to make sure they make a good pass.
So they've got the height advantage here from set pieces. So what can they make from this corner kick, which floats in? But it's well headed clear, probably by the tallest of the French players. That's Moussa Diallo. Did well with that. Goalkeeper Poisson looks on the worse for his little adventure a few minutes ago, and he picked up a knock from a late challenge. Darlow. Nicely played inside to Lorichon. And here he is again. Well, that was a real chance then for the French, wasn't it? And the first save that the goalkeepers had to make. I'm just getting some notes from our producer Kath today just to tell me that it's Baptiste, Roriota Baptiste, who is the French number 22. So thanks for getting that for us. That's a name that wasn't on their original list, so maybe he's been brought in at short notice as well. But Baptiste, he looks a good player actually. He looks very confident on the ball, so we'll keep a close eye on his performance. Ball comes across the field, and that's going to be a chase on there for Lesage. Keeps it in play. You get the cross in, goalkeeper will have to come for it, and well, he almost drops it, but he did okay in the end. He's not the tallest of keepers either, but he's Suddenly stretched long and hard to get that. Now here is Baptiste. Finds his captain. Nicely played forward by Destiny. Good defensive work from the Dutch though, cutting that move out. And they'll bring it forward now. Spreading the play with Boxtel, number 8. And they get the throw. Well, I think that's still in play, isn't it? It is still in play. We thought it had gone out onto the main road, didn't we? I think from where we were sitting here, but it went high and wide. So what do you make of these first few minutes then, from Steve? I think fair to say the French on top, but the Dutch have beginning to come out of their shell a bit, aren't they?
Both teams, when they're going forward, they look dangerous. They look like they could score. So, yeah, they're both playing within themselves, I think. But I think the French are on top for a number of chances, definitely.
And that goes harmlessly out of play. The French then have the throw with Valentin Lorichon. Takes it quickly. Gets it back. He'll go back to his goalkeeper. Right wing back there is Abdel Bouyaha. Again looking, just trying to put Lesage through on this left. It's a tactic that they've been using quite a lot, the French, and it has worked up to a point so far. Not produced a goal yet though. Lorichon just goes for safety, finds his goalkeeper. And the French will build them once more, say building from the back, playing out. Lorichon decides to go long in the end. Eventually making the header is Custodio, number 18. Challenge from the captain, from Destiny. Dutch though, just approaching the penalty area. And so you're right, Steve. When they get the ball, they do look dangerous to the Dutch.
Yeah, the winger had two in the middle there to aim at, and it was cut out by the defender.
Lesage. Through ball, nicely chased by the number 9, by Ottelon, but goalkeeper Van Wielen is there. Safely in his hands. I wonder if this is the first time they've had international football at this little ground. Quite possibly, this little stadium.
It's a fantastic stadium. It's clearly very new. Yeah, it's a really nice stadium, and all the staff have been very welcoming as well. So yeah, what a great place.
Thanks to the rebels here, Slough Town, who've been looking after us during our visits here. Oh, mistake at the back, but the flag goes up for an offside, which is given by Don Frisian, the Dutch element of the officials here. And I'm told we will have a UK referee for the UCAF versus French game on Friday.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Scott Crowhurst, who's a level 3 referee. Today we've got Ryan. Ryan's been refereeing since 2021.
I think you've got a story about him, haven't you, from recently from the Army Super Cup you're going to tell us.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so I went over to Northern Ireland to be the Army FA representative at the Super Cup final with the chair. Ryan, waiting at Newcastle Airport, EasyJet told him his flight had been cancelled because there were too few people on it. and he ended up getting a flight of 4, or not getting a flight of 4 because the game was kicking off at 2. So I ended up running the line with a hodgepodge of kit from the other officials and a pair of boots from the home team.
And I'm sure you did a great job, Steve.
Well, that's very generous of you.
As I say, who'd be a referee? Good charge into the box then from Lorichon, but he is tackled in the end. Bit of a shove off the ball. It's interesting that Boxall them waving his arms and just saying, "Me? Was it really me?" Yeah, sorry, it was you, Milan. That was a clear foul.
So Ryan tonight is on the first round proper of the FA Youth Cup, and he's at Plough Lane for Wimbledon.
Goodness, he's got a busy day then.
He has got a busy day. I think he's only just been given that appointment in the last hour or a couple of hours. So yeah, he wasn't expecting. So
He must be fit then if he's going to be running around like that for 180 minutes plus. Header goes in. And well saved in the end by Van Veelen. He had to be off his mark, actually, from our position. It didn't look too dangerous, but it was a good header, wasn't it, that came in there? Nice interplay from the French. And going down that right-hand side is Custodio. He's beaten off a couple of challenges, getting right to the far post, and I think that will not be a penalty. Well, the referee is just going over to consult his linesman there. I think that there looked like a bit of a touch, and what has he given? He's given a free kick on the edge of the box.
Ah, very good.
Clearly a foul there, and I think there was certainly a claim for a penalty amongst the French. But the referee said, no, that is not a penalty. But still some danger here. The man who went down was Remy Custodio from the challenge. Two-man wall. What can the French do here from this set piece? Played low, and that was a very poor free kick in the end. Obviously there's something they've been working on in training perhaps, but it just didn't come off, did it at all? I'm not quite sure what happened with that free kick.
I think they only had cones against them in training, maybe.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So nearly half an hour played here then. It remains 0-0 in this Kentish Cup tie between the Dutch Armed Forces in their orange and the French Armed Forces wearing their blue. Le Bleu heading forward, they're pushing on forward at the moment. Cross comes in, headed clear eventually. And the Dutch might have a chance to break through, but eventually France pick it up once more with Bouyaha. Place it wide onto the right-hand side. That's a good cross coming in. And on the end of it is Ostelon with a shot, which harmlessly in the end goes out of play. The only thing that's really let the French down has been their finishing so far, Steve. They've had the chances, haven't they? They've certainly had the bulk of the chances in this game.
They have, and when you said early on they may rue the chances that they've missed, I thought, well, it's a bit early now, but they continue to do that. So, yeah, maybe that will happen.
And the longer this game goes on, the more confident the Dutch team will get, thinking that they can actually get something out of this, which of course they desperately need, because even though they lost the first game 3-1, all it needs is for them to pick up the points here and a victory and to get a few goals, and suddenly they're right back in the competition again. Not been too many three-way ties in this Kentish Cup over the 104 years of the tournament's existence. Here is their number 9, Ottelon. Cross comes in. He'll pick it up again, but again it's cleared away by the Dutch. Dangerous number 20. Sinham.
Yes, I was watching Kyle, isn't it? I was watching his overview of the Kentish Cup, which I thought was fantastic. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch, and it goes into the detail of the stats, and it was very good.
And Carl, if you are watching, I'm sure you are watching somewhere today, that talking to the French manager earlier on, and just sort of saying how good it was. All the French team have watched it, and it was actually with not just French subtitles, but with French commentary, using AI apparently. So somewhere in the internet there, Kyle, is a French version of your history of the Kentish Cup, which is probably worth digging out and checking out to see how the French accent works. But no, it's gone down really well, that history of the Kentish Cup, with the Brigadier General Reginald Kentish will be so delighted, I think, the way this tournament is developing, and there may be some more news coming up on the future of the tournament as well in the next few days as well, which we can't reveal at the moment. But we are very much into the 2025 version of the Kentish Cup football competition, the oldest football competition of its kind in the world, and certainly the oldest in Europe. All of the cup competitions have followed. But it remains 0-0 here, and we are well into the 32nd minute of this game. I think we've now got to the stage with football, so many have been kicked out of the ground, they're probably running out, so I don't know. Nice crossfield ball. Goalkeeper, though, well off his line. That was good goalkeeping there from Van Vielen, who anticipated the move forward from Jean Lesage and cut out the danger before it even really started. As one of those footballs goes dangerously close to our camera position above the stand here. Mark and Lewis looking after our cameras today from the top position.
I hope they're wrapped up warm up there, because
they need blankets like us, I think.
Yeah, I'm wrapped up here, and it's definitely colder up there.
Well, there's a bit of a squabble about whose throwing it is. Eventually, Valentin Lorochon decides that it's very much a Dutch throw, which Bob Leemans will take. Good challenge coming in from the impressive Moussa Diallo, who I think has had a really good game so far. He's looked very, very confident at the back and also going forward as well. He's had one of the chances for the French. That's a really good ball forward from Baptiste, putting forward now the Otillon, edge of the box. Well cut out by the Dutch captain. Cross and a header goes in. The header eventually there from Alex Servan, but safely into the hands of the goalkeeper to keep it at 0-0. Another attempt on target though for the French. They've had, what, 3 or 4 on target now. They've not really tested the goalkeeper too much, but they're certainly getting the shots in. The statisticians among you, I'm sure, will be keeping a close count. Nicely controlled by the our resident ball boy here, Aidan, who is looking after engineering for us. Did well with that. Lovely control again from Diallo, and it's a sort of a cross-come shot. I don't think he's a bit disappointed with himself there, but he did all the hard work, didn't he then, Steve? You know, he beat about 4 players with some lovely touch work there on the ball.
Diallo looks just so composed, so balanced. He looks really, really good to watch.
And I think it's going to take a bit of an extra bit of an X factor, a bit of class perhaps, to create a the first goal here. And it could come at either end because the Dutch now, they're pushing forward again, and real opportunity for them on the edge of the box. Nice control, nice turn, and that was for them. It was Sam Heymans who got the shot in there. Number 15.
Yep, good block by the defender. Yeah, he made space and looked like he would capitalise on that, but it was a good block.
And it goes to show, doesn't it, that the Dutch are dangerous when they're on the break. They were very much an on-the-break team against UCAF on Monday. UCAF enjoying the bulk of possession, particularly in the first half. And of course, they had 2 goals to show for it at half-time, a 2-goal lead. It's still the deadlock to be broken here in Slough this afternoon. It's 38 minutes gone in this first half. Of course, a draw suits neither team. They've both got to go for the win. There's the captain. That's really nice play then from Destiny. Lovely side foot control for the French. Again, and again the shot just a little bit wayward from them, from Ostelon. How to play it goes. Backwards and forwards. A bit scrappy at the moment, but the man who I think it could make a difference is Dallo here. Lovely ball forward through. Goalkeeper comes out, makes a really confident save to deny Dorian Ostelon. He elects to kick it forward. It's not often you see Dutch players doing that. Well, that was a really hefty challenge on Jean Lesage there, and I think the referee will be possibly having words with the man responsible for that. And again, it was N.A. Ulasinum who was responsible for that challenge on the goalkeeper early on. He's certainly put his elbow in. I'm actually quite surprised that Ryan Heffrington maybe hasn't shown a card there, Steve, because that's the second time that he's been guilty of a late challenge like that.
So I think he's made it clear to him that he won't be making another challenge like that without getting a card. But
here come the French. Real opportunity on the edge of the box, and it is turned in the end. And all the pressure that they put on has finally produced a goal for the French. And it was really well played in the end. Nice. They basically took advantage of the fact that the Dutch were slightly caught cold, weren't they? The great cross coming in from the left-hand side, and it was touched home in the end by, I think it was the number 6, Abdel Bouyahaya, who's number 18, who's scored the goal. Remy Custodio, who's delighted with that, did a great job, put the ball in the net, and the French have the lead here. And I don't think there could be any complaints really from the Dutch about that the France deserve to be ahead.
Yeah, they definitely deserve to be ahead. I think the Dutch seem to feel that the free kick, but the free kick, there was no yellow card. Ryan had spoke to the players, and the French got on with it, and the Dutch were on their heels.
So France have the lead then in this second Kentish Cup tie here at Slough. Trying to push home their advantage here, maybe with a second goal. Dallo out to Baptiste. He'll lay it back, and the cross comes in. Headed clear in the end by Beldrads. He's the goal scorer. Ball finds its way through. The Dutch have got to be careful here. It'd be hard for them to come back if they concede a second goal so quickly. Challenge goes in. Unfair, says the referee. Dalot. The challenge there was not a fair one. That was on the Boxtel. Goalkeeper then with the a kick forward, the free kick from the offside. France in the hunt for a second goal here, which would certainly give them a really good cushion going in at half time. So half an hour played, and nicely worked out onto this right hand side. Cross comes in, sort of cross comes shot in the end from Baptiste, and no problem at all for goalkeeper Van Wielen. He could do nothing about that goal. One 1-0 to the French here in this Kentish Cup tie. And I think we're continuing with commentary only at the moment, from what I can gather. A slight problem with getting our picture signals back from Slough here. So carry on doing the commentary as best we can, almost as if it's a radio commentary for you, if you are tuning in. Moussa Dalot on the ball now. Challenge coming in there from Bousselot, but the referee says play on. French once more on the edge of the on their own halfway line. Ball goes out wide then to Bohaya, who's unfairly challenged, says the referee, by the big centre half Jimmy Huss, and that will be a free kick to the French. 35 yards out on that far side, that right hand side of the pitch from where we are in our commentary position here. Free kick will be taken for them by Jean Lesage. Looks like he's going to take it with his left foot and float it into the box. Big bundle of players just on the edge of the penalty area, waiting for that to come in. He takes the low in the end, and it's straight at the goalkeeper. So no real issues. I think that was something they probably worked on in training, because everyone was expecting a sort of a cross to come in, but it was actually a hard drive in the end, but it went straight at the goalkeeper. So no issues for the Dutch goalkeeper, Livesey Van Wielen. So apologies for the lack of picture. I don't know whether it was just relying on commentary alone, but you haven't missed anything. And we apologise for that break in transmission, but we are back again, and this time the Dutch are coming forward on that left-hand side of the pitch, cut out by the French and collected by Alex Servan. Nice ball forward, finds Baptiste on the edge of the box. The challenge comes in the end from the big Dutch number 19, Michel Van Denier, and that will be a throw to the French, leading by 1-0. That goal scored by Custodio just after the 35th minute. We are into the last minute of normal time here, according to our watch, but there may be a little bit of extra time added by the referee, by Ryan Heffrington, who luckily did not have to fly here today. Good shielding of the ball by the Dutch, and that'll just be a goal kick then to the Dutch team. It will be left to Van Wielen to take that. They'll decide to play out. The French do collect it again. That's a danger of playing out from the back. You've just got to be so confident. The Dutch do look confident on the ball. I have to say, it's just that the French have just been that much better. Their ball control has been better. They're quicker to the ball as well. They're half a yard faster. And in fact, that is the half-time whistle. So very, very little stoppage time has been played in this game. Referee Ryan Heffrington blows his whistle. It's half-time here in Slough in this second Kentish Cup tie game of the season, and it's France who lead by 1-0, just a single goal. They've had plenty of opportunity, maybe could be 3 or 4 up actually, but it is only 1-0 at half-time. Steve, very quick thoughts from you on that first half.
Very enjoyable game. I think the French are on top, but the Dutch are dangerous on attack, so I think it's set up for a good second half.
Plenty to play for in the second half. It's half-time, 1-0 to the French forces here in this Kentish Cup tie. Let's bring you up to date now with lots of more Forces sport, shall we, at the half-time stage. And first of all, we'll take you back 48 hours, in case you missed it, to the highlights from the first game, the opening game in this season's Kentish Cup, with UCAF against the Dutch forces. Because they are the Kentish Cup champions. Nice through ball. It's a chance for the Dutch. Bit of a clumsy challenge. Referee has given the free kick just outside the box. And floated in. Oh, and it's off the post. What an opportunity that was for the Dutch. Well, they came so close there with that one. Bit of head tennis. Campbell, chance opportunity to score, and he has done. Well, there was a bit of a mix-up at the back there for the Dutch, and Mikey Campbell said thank you very much indeed, and UCAF have an early lead, really their first proper attempt on goal, and it has yielded a goal. Mikey Campbell.
So they've definitely got a danger from set plays.
Lovely ball from Phil Bright, and Campbell hooks it over. Real danger in the box here. Oh, and it's just gone wide again. Well, what an opportunity that was for UCAF to double their lead there. Ball comes out. It's a beautiful shot, and it's a brilliant goal from George Bishop. Well, that was magnificent. A fantastic second goal. There was no goalkeeper was going to stop that one. Nice touch in. Bishop finds the number 7. The goalkeeper has to make the save, but it's rifled back towards the goal. And Brodie Gray with the attempt, but eventually the Dutch get it clear. Mike Campbell is down in the box, having lost it on a goal difference the year before in the UK. That was quite a challenge, and I think the referee has said it was an unfair challenge, and it is a penalty to the Dutch. Well, I'm not quite sure that Alfie Rogers can have any complaints there. Really important moments then in this Kentish Cup tie. UCAF were flying. De Haas takes it. Oh, and the goalkeeper makes the save. But eventually it's forced over the line. And McCormick has taken a knock as well. I think he was trying to make the save, which we would feel would seal the deal. But in football, you never can tell, can you? It goes in. The Dutch eventually get it clear, but only as far as the substitute has just come on. Campbell still challenging in the box. It's in! It's another brilliant goal, and this time it's George Bishop again with his second goal. Brilliantly taken then on the edge of the penalty area. Well, he is absolutely lethal, isn't he? Well, there's still some space there on that right-hand side. Great shot comes in, and it was a brilliant save in the end from Los McCormack. Falls to England, back out to Beckley, and the cross. Spalding was waiting for it, but now the Dutch have got a chance. It's actually end-to-end stuff here at the moment as they push for a second goal here. Ball goes cross field. It's in. Oh, another great save from McCormick. That's the second magnificent save that he's made just in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Now, chance for Ollie Ward, who's come on, number 17. That's great play from him. Into the edge of the box. Oh, puts the ball across and
Great save.
It was a good save from the goalkeeper. I'm sure Joe Spalding thought that he'd just done enough.
The British military might fight together to defeat our enemies, but when it comes to sport, it's strictly British Army versus Royal Navy versus Royal Air Force. Anyone can watch it for free.
A real chase on then, and can he keep that ball in play? Yes, he can. Great work then.
Great one from Joe Spalding.
And that's in the net! It's a goal for UCAF.
Great goal.
Oh, and it's an equaliser, and guess who scored it? It's Jake Gosling. Taking the 1-2. Nice bit of play. And a lovely shot, and it's a beautiful equaliser for the Dutch from Vincent Hoekstra.
Gosling's break through. It's 2-0. Brilliant play. Brilliant play once again.
But the Dutch now with a real opportunity, but and the flag has not gone down. A chance for them to equalise, and they have got the equaliser. Vincent to Bright. Bright gets a telling ball through. Here's Ayat. Surely it's going to be in, and it is. It's a second goal for UCAF. And finally, Greg Peel has scored. Danny Kerr. Great shot and a great goal! Oh, that was a fantastic goal. It was Sam Atkinson.
Back in the game.
Absolutely brilliant. Flipped it into the penalty area. On the end of it is the big man, and it's Jack has got in there. Jack Wright. And now very quickly brought forward by the French. That's a fantastic ball forward. Aim for the number 9, Moenza, who knows how to score. And in at the back is the number 20, and he has scored for the French. Well, the opening goal scored by Jonathan Lesage. Really nice work again. Kerr on the edge of the penalty area. He goes for another shot, and he gets another goal! Well, that was brilliant from Danny Kerr.
Only the strong survive. 4-5 Commando are taking it on, and Forces News is tracking them as they're tested alongside their American counterparts.
125. Our job is to protect the people flying. It's a lot of responsibility. You've kind of got people's lives in your hands.
So what you have behind me is around 300 military vehicles and 1,000 personnel, all mission ready.
All along it, at regular intervals, are hydrophones. They're listening for any sign of a submarine.
Military drone racing is one of the British Army's newest official sports.
50% skill and 50% emotion and just keeping rock solid.
Would you rather a weekend in Paris or Amsterdam?
Paris if I'm with my wife, Amsterdam if I'm on my own.
Good answer.
Amsterdam.
Yeah, it's definitely got to be Amsterdam with the boys, yeah.
Would you rather watch PSG at the Parc des Princes or Ajax at the Johan Cruyff Arena?
I'd rather watch it at PSG.
Definitely PSG.
Okay.
I'd go PSG, a bit more entertaining.
Probably Ajax. History and that.
Would you rather have Virgil van Dijk or Kylian Mbappe as your captain?
Van Dijk.
Mbappe for me.
I'll say Van Dijk because I'm a Liverpool fan.
I'll say Mbappe because I'm a striker.
Virgil van Dijk. Big Virgil, all day.
Yeah.
Would you rather be coached by Louis van Gaal or Didier Deschamps?
Didier Deschamps. Purely because I think he'll fancy a red wine after the game.
Van Gaal because he's a bit of a nutter.
Deschamps. Go Van Gaal. Yeah, he's a bit of a drama queen, so I
Like that, okay. Would you rather eat a Stroop waffle or a macaroon?
Do you know what either of those are?
I'll say the waffle.
I don't know either of them. I don't know what that is.
Would you rather wear a bright orange jumpsuit at the Eiffel Tower or a French rooster outfit down the Dutch Canal?
Has to be a rooster outfit, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a bit of drama queen, yeah.
Orange jumpsuit.
At the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah.
I'd love to see that coming.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'm not wearing the French.
I'll go the rooster one.
I'll go the bright orange jumpsuit.
Well, you'd have to.
Yeah,
You'd have
alright,
to.
yeah. Thanks, man.
And finally, a very cultured one, Monet or Vincent van Gogh?
Back off.
Yeah. Don't know him. Either
I don't know him. He's a famous penner.
I don't look at
Go
him.
here.
Referee blows his whistle. UCAF have beaten the French Armed Forces here.
And that's a fantastic ball through. And he scores! He goes in and it is to the back of the net. Takes it, scores! UCAF have beaten the French Armed Forces here in a famous victory. Touchdown with a real opportunity. They have got the equaliser. Celebrate because they are the Kentish Cup champions. Celebrate because they are the Kentish Cup champions. Well, welcome back to Arbour Park here in Slough for waiting for the teams to come out for the second half in this second match in the 2025 Kentish Cup. Steve Clout is joining me. Steve, 1-0 at half-time to the French forces. They certainly had the better of the opportunities, didn't they, before obviously they got the goal in the end, and it was beautifully taken actually with Remy Castudo getting on the end of it, and it was fairly what we were maybe expecting, because they were using this this left channel to generate the majority of their chances in that first half.
Yeah, most of their chances have come from the left side. I think they took advantage of the Dutch, who hadn't quite set up after the foul where on the French defender.
That's right.
And they were a little bit surprised by the speed of the quick free kick. No need to set up a free kick at that level with the wall, etc. So, yeah, I think they were on their back heels. They didn't seem too happy, but yeah, they should have been on their toes and expected it. But yeah,
all credit to the French though for actually taking that quick free kick and making the most of the opportunity.
Yeah, getting on with the game.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think that Francois Petit will be delighted about that. Because I think we sort of said during commentary, hadn't we, that they'd had a lot of chances, and if you don't take that, you only get so many chances in a game, and suddenly if you don't take them, then it's always possible the opposition there can grab a goal themselves, which the Dutch have had threatened to do.
They've grown into the game, the Dutch, and they've had more and more chances. I can't actually recall a shot on goal by the Dutch, though.
No, I don't think they had a shot on target. I don't think their goalkeeper, Victor Poisson, has had a save to make. A bit of a contrast to Livensley van Wielen, the Dutch goalkeeper, who has been pretty busy in that first half. He had to make a few saves, although not really outstanding ones. I think, you know, there were plenty of shots on target and plenty of shots off target. But the one that matters, of course, is the one that Remy Custodio scored to put the French forces in front by 1-0. And the way that's sort of hanging at the moment, it means we're very much on target for a showdown between UCAF and France on Friday, which of course we're all looking forward to that game anyway. But 45 minutes, where do you think this might go in the second half?
I think the Dutch will push. That will leave openings for the French, and I can't see anything other than a French win here.
Okay, well, we're just about ready to go with Ryan Heffrington just standing by, waiting to make sure that all the players are ready and that both his officials are ready as well. We're ready to go for the second half here. And Arbor Park looking in fine fettle. These 3G pitches, obviously from the top view that you're watching at home, it looks almost like they're frosted, doesn't it? But that's just the nature of the surface. Obviously, with is it old tyres that they use as sort of the packing that goes into
the black. I don't know actually. I'll have to Google that.
It looks like the sort of stuff that gets left behind our Formula One cars. Maybe that's what they use. You've got the. Maybe our friends who follow F1 might know better than us, but usually by the side of a racetrack after a Formula One meeting, it's absolutely covered in little sort of pebbles.
Well, it's definitely
rubber.
It's definitely rubber, and, and whenever I officiate on one of these, I definitely take half of it back to my house.
Yeah. That's right. I was talking to Jamie Doig about that a few weeks ago, the Leicester Tigers kit man, of course. Who I was asking, what's the best surface or the worst surface in a way? You know, when you've got to be clean, washing kit, and he always says it's the surface of an artificial pitch, because those little black nodules are terribly difficult to clear. Anyway, enough talking about kits and pitches. Let's get on with the game, shall we? And the early touch of the ball in the second half for Van Wielen. Tall number 25, Lucas Udven, who mentioned that he has come over from Spain to take over in this game, to play in this match this afternoon. Just looking to see if there's any changes being made to either side. I can't see any, but we'll probably pick those up as we go along, and I'm sure that there will be some changes made to both teams as we move into this second half here. Dutch in their orange, of course, and the French in their traditional Les Bleus. Getting his header in there was Quentin Bronner, wearing number 4 for the French. Confident start for the Dutch in this first half, but eventually that ball running out of play. Unfortunately for them, Conor Balk just unable to keep it in. Interesting to see the sort of tactics that the French take in the second half. They obviously have the 1-0 lead, but everyone knows how important goals are in this competition as well. UCAF obviously have a +2 at the moment after their 3-1 victory on Monday. The referee says that was an unfair challenge, and so it will be a free kick to the Dutch.
I think the French will want to get goals just to close out the game, but when it comes to Friday, both teams will be looking to win. I don't think either would sit back and look to draw and hope for the best on goal difference. I think they'll always go for a win.
Well, goal difference really only comes into play when matches are drawn, aren't they? And obviously, because UCAF have already got the 3 points in the bag, it's going to change the whole course of things. You're quite right, Steve. You know, everyone goes for a win in this competition. You don't play for a draw. Definitely not. Although, what's it, 2 or 3 years ago, of course, there was a draw between UCAF and the French in the final game, with them both having beaten the Dutch, and it was goal difference that decided it. So it can still be important. Free kick this time goes to the French forces, with Moussa Diallo certainly putting himself about there, and it'll be Riato Baptiste who will take this free kick then. The French's first real opportunity in this second half, as they go from left to right, as we watch from opposite the main stand here at Arbor Park. Nice free kick floated in wide, and on the end of it is the big number 13, but he can't bring it under enough control, and it goes harmlessly over the crossbar. But that was a good potent free kick there from the French.
Very good header. The drawn game, was that down at Havant and Waterlooville?
Yeah, that was 3 years ago at Havant and Waterlooville, yeah. And,
yeah, I do recall the UCAF had a penalty in the last... I think there was an opportunity, either a penalty or a very good opportunity right at the last kick.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a very close game.
It was a close game, but a draw was both teams had beaten the Dutch, but the French had scored more goals. So UCAF knew they had to win the game. It ended up as a draw, which meant the French won the title. So for all these years, it's almost a decade that the French, that UCAF have actually not lost a Kentish Cup game, even though they had to surrender the trophy 3 years ago. Obviously winning it back in France 2 years ago, and cementing that title, retaining it over in Holland last December. And they're in no mood, obviously, to surrender that famous old trophy yet, are they?
Absolutely not. Joey wouldn't want to be the head of the coaching staff to then not retain.
Yeah, and it's great actually to see Joey. Obviously, he won the Lifetime Achievement Award at last year's Army Sports Awards, and I don't think even he thought that he'd be coaching the UCAF football team 12 months later.
No, he didn't, but he's delighted, I think, to have been selected for the role.
He certainly has. He's really enjoying. I think he's enjoying the job. In fact, he is here today. He's watching the game, obviously, with Keith Emerson, who is proving an extremely good assistant head coach as well. Those two really have got their ducks in order, certainly with some of the players that we've already seen, and most impressive at times on Monday in that game against the Dutch. French, though, opportunity pushing forward, looking for a second goal here. The Dutch desperately trying to get themselves back into this game as they chase it. Nice control there from Heymans on the far side, but it rolls out of play. Neither side really exerting any massive control so far in this second half. You would think that that Rolls van Dalkum will be pushing his players forward to get themselves back into the game, but that was a bit of a wayward clearance there, chased on for the French by the number 18 Remy Custodio, who scored the goal that separates the two teams. Again, brilliant challenge coming in from the number 13. Been really impressed with him, and the shot from Baptiste flies high and wide in the end, but that was brilliant play once more from Moussa Diallo there, who created that opportunity.
Yeah, I think the Dutch tried to play it out from the back and quite dangerously, and it got picked off, and another good opening there for the French.
It certainly was, and Baptiste has looked very potent in this sort of central midfield role that he's been occupying. It's certainly been pushing forward. Again, a loose ball collected by the French. Control from the Dutch perspective. They lose out though in the end. It's a bit scrappy at the moment. And this ball could just about go anywhere. Well, the flag goes up in the end. I think that was it for offside in the end? I don't know.
No, it was a free kick. I think it's one of those free kicks.
6 or 1 half a dozen.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was a foul at all, Steve,
well,
actually.
when it's in the defensive third, and yeah, the referee's going to give that one. I think the assistant gave it actually.
That was a bit unfortunate, really. I think on Alex Serval there, but I think Mondenier will have been reasonably happy with that to get that back. But here come the Dutch. Can they make something out of this? With Bulk. Good challenge coming in. It's a Dutch ball. Lucas Ludven will take it. Is he going to go long? It's longish, but it's intercepted really well by the French captain, Vincent Destinet. Great anticipation there from the French skipper. And it is a French throw. With Bronner to take. That's a lovely through ball. Again, great work from Darlow. Coming in. Baptiste picks it up. Beats off one challenge, beats off a second challenge. Goes out of play, and that will be a French corner. Well, the French do look more dangerous, don't they, again, when they have that ball. Midfield just beginning to dominate things again. And Moussa Darlow really impressing me, the number 13 for the French. And they have the corner. Coming in at right at the far side of the pitch is Brommer. And there's another ball that goes out of the ground. I suppose if they employ, ball boys and girls here to go and collect their base, may as well be just based outside the stadium.
Yeah, a lot of the balls seem to be just chipping over, but I think there's an outer ring, so I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, I don't think they'll end up on the main road. So, another corner to the French then, with Jonathan Lesage will take this. He scored a couple of years ago for the French in the Kentish Cup. It's an in-swinger. Goalkeeper flaps a little bit at it. Defence trying to get it clear. Eventually it is cleared by Heymans. And can the Dutch do something on the break here? That's right, nice play through, but again flick back forward towards the Dutch half. And here's Darlow again, edge of the box. Bunyao will try and get the cross in. That was a strong 50-50 challenge there, and the man who's come off worst of all is Michel Mondenier, who's gone down. You heard his screams go up, and he'll need some attention. So thanks so much wherever you're watching our coverage today here of the Kentish Cup 2025, live here on our Forces News YouTube channel, all around the Forces world, wherever you are. And I'm sure a lot of you who are supporting UCAF will be particularly interested to see how this game goes, obviously with the final match in mind on Friday, which of course we will be bringing you again live here from Slough on Friday afternoon. The game kicking off as this one did, and the previous one on Monday at 2 o'clock. Here we go, though, with the Dutch. Great opportunity for them, but quickly off his line was Victor Poisson to make the save. That kind of looks to be the best way forward for the Dutch. Try to, move the ball quickly, Steve, and see what they can get through this very, very well-organised French back line.
I think they need to do something different. It's not quite carry on as you are, because I don't think they penetration. I think that's one of the first times the French goalkeepers touched the ball. So I think they need to do something different.
He's certainly got some options on the bench. On Monday, he brought on Sven Boer, number 3, who's about 7 foot tall, and suddenly it gave the Dutch a lot of height in the box, and he certainly posed some problems when he came on. I suspect that we will see him in this game, particularly if it stays at 1-0, because the Dutch will still feel they have an opportunity to get something out of this game. But it's France who are coming forward again at the moment with Lesage on that far side of the field. It's well cut out though by the Dutch defender, and that's a telling ball through across. Now can Bolk chase it? And he will win the corner. And that was a great play from the Dutch, really going from defence to attack very quickly.
That was a cracking ball, and the French defender needed to take control of that and frankly missed it. And it came through to the Dutch player. He did recover and make the tackle, but yeah, it gives him a chance.
Yeah, Bolk wins the corner, which now comes in then. It's an in-swinger, headed clear eventually by the French number 6. But the Dutch still putting some pressure on. Baptiste trying to chase after it. Eventually there's no danger with that, and rather a wasted opportunity there again for the Dutch. Milan Boxtel couldn't get back from having taken the corner to get back and claim that ball. So an opportunity gone for the Dutch for now. Heading towards the hour mark here, and still the French have this narrow 1-0 lead. Destiny. And here's Lesage. Destiny chasing after it and gets it back. That's a lovely ball cross field from Baptiste, and chased by the goal scorer, chased by Custodio. It's a French ball. And France quite happy at the moment with the way things are going. Certainly controlling the play. Lorachon. Boyhard goes back to his goalkeeper. The French got to be careful. Getting a bit casual on the ball there. Dutch will take advantage of that if they have even half an opportunity. Baptiste. Out to Lesage. Chance goes wide, and that was a real opportunity again for Dorian Autalon. He'll feel he could have done better there, Steve.
They pressed high up the pitch, the French. I thought they would back off once the Dutch had the ball in their own half. But no, they pushed and created that chance.
But it goes a begging. It remains 1-0. Always a dangerous score in football. Good work then from the Dutch number 3, Sven Boer, in fact, who has come on now. You know, Boer has now come on wearing the number 3 shirt. So a change has been made by Van Belkom, Major Van Belkom, the coach. Can he get himself into the game? They've got some big lads now up front of the Dutch. And here he is. He just couldn't quite control it, but he'll challenge for it. But eventually the French won it back with Alex Servant. Well won back by the Dutch defender. And he'll take the 1-2. Again, cross ball. French defender's got to make it and hasn't done. And here come the Dutch with an opportunity for Boxtel on the edge of the box. Shoots straight at the goalkeeper. Oh, and he'll be so, well, frustrated really, because that was the best opportunity that the Dutch have had in the whole game. And once again, it was that through ball which had deceived the French defender there. And, well, certainly the best chance that the Dutch have had so far, Steve. Should be 1-1.
Cracking chance, and there were options. I think 3 against 2 at the when he took the shot. So it's, yeah, could have gone anywhere on the rebound. Went to a French player.
I think he made the right decision to go for goal. But
100%.
You know, if he could have put it left or right of the goalkeeper, and a great save from Poisson, who you know, positioned himself perfectly, but so nearly the equaliser that we were talking about. And of course, an equaliser now for the Dutch would really, you know, give them such a confidence boost. It was about this time in the game against UCAF where they won the penalty to bring themselves back at 2-1. It's only 1-0. That's lovely bit of control there by Boer. And on this left-hand side now, this is Bulk. Ball comes in field. Boer takes a shot and Boer scores! And it is 1-1, and it is the substitute who has come on and has made all the difference. Well, we suggested possibly that he could make a difference. Sven Boer comes in and he has lashed it home. It's 1-1.
Fantastically worked goal and great finish. It ended up in the middle there. Centre forward or the forward relaxed, played it out and slotted it home. Great.
Well, 63 minutes gone here in Slough. It is 1-1 between the Dutch forces and the French. And, well, don't like to say told you so, but all those chances that the French have squandered in the first half, and they've also missed a couple in this second half. Are they going to come back and bite them? Hefty challenge going in there, which referee Heffrington will have words with. And I would imagine that there's some rather happy UK Armed Forces players who are probably celebrating that goal, Steve, as well, wherever they're watching this afternoon.
They will be, but at the same... yeah, they will be, because... But they still need to win.
Well, if it stayed like this, of course a draw will be enough. And where goal difference comes into it. But
yeah.
I know we've said we mustn't talk about goal difference. Winning the games is the most important thing. And of course they would want to win the game. But if it did stay like this, then a draw would be enough for UCAF to retain the trophy. But the French, almost a bit of a hiatus there for the Dutch defence. And, well, if Alex Servan had just been a little bit quicker, he could have got on the end of that. But as it stands, the Dutch Armed Forces are back in this game at 1-1.
And I think the momentum's with them as well. I think it's not just the fact that they've got that goal. The French just seemed a little bit lost at the moment.
Yeah, well, let's say they've had all those opportunities. I'm just thinking now maybe that Francois Petit is going to be making a few changes of his own for the French team. Some deep discussions going on just to the side of the French dugout on that far side of the field. They're just trying to work out what they're going to do. But the Dutch have got their tails up at the moment. There is no doubt about that. They're back in this game. And they could actually have been in the lead. Because if you remember, just a few moments before, Milan Boxtel had a great opportunity to level it. He played it straight to the goalkeeper. The Dutch could be ahead. They've got the free kick then. And it is it's Boxtel who's going to take that free kick on that right-hand side. But didn't get hold of it properly. It was a poor free kick. The French now then have an opportunity to break forward themselves. And I think that Servan was looking for a foul there, but Ryan Heffrington wanting nothing to do with that. Boxtel loses out. It's won again for the French by Baptiste into the box, and that will be a French corner. Whatever happens now, we're into a very exciting final 20-25 minutes, Steve, with the game evenly poised at 1-1.
It is evenly poised, and both teams have stepped up now, so it's
they've got to go for it, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So corner then to the French. Floated in, well headed clear. Eventually by the Dutch, but it's still flying around in the box. Eventually keeper Van Wielen gets his hands on it and very quickly clears that ball downfield. And you can tell who he's aiming for. The big substitute Sven Boer, who's come on and has made a difference. As we suggested he might. A very significant difference. Lovely cross ball there by Castillo. Eventually, though, keeper Van Wielen has it. Dutch playing themselves out once more. This is the Dutch way, of course. Hopeful ball goes into the opposition box, and no problem for Poisson to collect it. A lot of shouting going on out on the pitch there. It's a great challenge, and he really has made such a difference, has Sven Bohr, since he came on. Not only his goal, but he just goes for everything, and this is exactly how he played against UCAF in the opening game. Super sub has come on, and it's levelled it for the Dutch armed forces here. Right, bringing it forward though for France is Castillo. Go out of play. France now with the opportunity then to get something more with Dallo. Very, very good on the ball. Cross comes in from the left-hand side. Goalkeeper there first before Servan. French substitutes are warming up on that far side of the pitch. So I think we've got a couple of changes that are likely to be made pretty soon. Even then with the throw. All-important third goal, but which way is it going to go? That's the big question we have in this Kentish Cup game. 70 minutes played here. It's still 1-1. An equaliser for the Dutch just a few minutes ago to level it after the French had taken the lead in the first half. Who's going to have that composure? So I don't think it's been a particularly composed game, has it, Steve? It's been quite frantic, and there's been a lot of misplaced passes.
Very frantic. I noticed now that the Dutch have actually pushed. When the goalkeeper's got the ball, the Dutch have got 4 players up against 3 defenders. So they are pushing now.
It's a question really of whether they've got enough in midfield to make the most of it. And here they go once more. The big Sven Bohr, goal scorer, who's moved into a sort of a midfield position. Wow. Beautifully collected. Magnificent play. And the Dutch, so nearly getting the second goal there. That was magnificent play from the Dutch. Bohr has the shot. That's blocked as well by the French captain. Well, it was a brilliant bit of play there by the Dutch number 7, Connell Bolk. Got the ball into the box, and so nearly a goal to put the Dutch ahead. He got right to the byline, and there were several attempts there were blocked, but the Dutch do have a corner, and they're showing that they could be the ones who can claim the second goal and claim the victory. Comes out to Bolk. He'll take the shot, but he misses it. Again, goes for it, and it goes again harmlessly wide. And here come the changes. More changes being made. Looks like both the teams are going to be making some changes. The assistant referee, and it looks like it's the number 8 for the Dutch Boxstall who's gone off. And as has number 15 as well. So that's Sam Heymans has gone off. The Dutch have made a couple of changes. Coming on for them is Dennis Brink, number 18. And number 17 is Dennis Wiggins. So the Dutch have made their changes. Looks like the French are going to bring their number 12 on very shortly, Anthony Robich. He's going to come on, and looks like they're going to make another couple of changes too, with the players lining up. It looks as well like Ladislas Dinama is going to come on as well. He's a post. In fact, they're going to make 3 changes by the looks of the French forces. Change is coming from Francois Petit. So the first French man off is Alex Servant. Also leaving the field is their number 9, Dorian Otillon. And so the number 12 has come on, as I say. That is Anthony Robuch and Ladislas Dunimar, who is also a very dangerous player. And also coming on for them, I think, is Valentin Lorichon is now taking the throw-in for the French. So a couple of changes then made for the French here as they look to try and win back the lead in this Kentish Cup tie. And they have won a corner, which will be taken by Mathieu Baptiste. In-swinger comes in. And the header goes in, and it's just wide from Valentin Lorichon. Well, that could easily have flown into the net, Steve, couldn't it?
It could have, and I see an element of urgency now from the French. They're moving the ball, they're taking free kick corners quickly, they're running out, collecting the ball, giving it back. They want to get on top of this game again, so they are pushing.
Well, look out for this number 7 for the French, Ladislas Dunimar. He's a prickly customer, and he's good on the ball, which we saw. But the Dutch again have the chance. The goalkeeper only half makes the save. Spreading from one end to the other. Number 18, the inbrought Brink brings it on. Well, this is going to be end-to-end in these last 15-20 minutes of this game. End-to-end stuff here, and who knows which way this Kentish Cup tie is going to go. Late challenge going in there, which two players just embracing at the end, which is always good to see. The usual challenges, no hard feelings at all. Just needs a bit of composure really from one team or the other. And now, can the French produce it? The answer is no. As Jonathan Lesage plays it wide. Sandbor's equaliser could prove very, very important for the Dutch as they look to try and break their duck. Been a couple of years without a victory for them. In fact, I think we're talking 3 years without a victory for the Dutch in this competition, and it would mean so much to them. And ball given away, but still the French have the possession. This is really nice play there from the goal scorer for them, Remy Custodio, and the referee says that was a foul challenge. Fair enough decision, I think, from Ryan Heffrington there.
Yeah, I think he gave the push earlier, but yeah. Player reaction says he's probably right.
Yeah, there were no major protests with Steve. So they have an opportunity then on this right-hand side of the pitch with Baptiste. He takes a free kick. It's headed an offside flag's gone up against Dunimar there. Just timed his run just a little bit too early. So the danger is averted for the Dutch just for now. Approaching 77 minutes here, and we are still at 1-1. It's equal between these two teams. And the French have had the bulk of the possession, the bulk of the chances, but the Dutch have taken theirs. Probably, I can only really remember one other major opportunity for the Dutch, which was the one that we saw went straight at the goalkeeper from Boxtel.
Yep, agreed. That was just before, wasn't it? And
there's been much less defending that the Dutch have had to do in this this second half so far, certainly with aerial contact. Spenbor did not get away with that. It was a clear nudge. So are we going to break the deadlock here? Heading towards the last 10 minutes of normal play. And not too many changes have been made. The Dutch have made 3 changes, the French have made 2. Again, he's so dangerous, his Boer. He's made such a difference. He has the ball now, he's going to try and let one fly, but it's well blocked in the end by the French defence. They now bring it forward. Both teams really going for this. Here's one of their substitutes, Robic, on this far side. He's brought down, wins the free kick on the edge of the box. And I think there's going to be a yellow card here. It looks very much like it. And another change being made by the French as well. Melvin Vieira's coming on, and he's replacing Baptiste, who I think's had a really good game, number 22. He's gone off though and been replaced by a very famous French name, Vieira. Melvin has come on, and he will go straight into the fray. In fact, I think he's going to take the free kick, isn't he? So this is his first touch of the ball, is to take a free kick with a 2-man wall. Takes it now. Headed clear by the Dutch goal. Well, it's headed clear eventually by the Dutch captain, but a clear shot on goal there for the French, which could have gone just about anywhere. Once again, the offside goes up against Spenbor. Both teams have just got to be, careful to be. There's a foul then.
So I think that the players are upset because they.
Well, there was
the players were upset because was that a goal kick or was that a free kick? Because if it's a goal kick, you can't be offside from a goal kick. So I'm not really sure. I think that's why they got upset, but one of them.
Well, there's a big debate going on at the moment, and the man who was on the floor is Jimmy Haas. He felt that he was unfairly challenged there. He's won the free kick, but he rather wanted the. I don't think Bob Lemons is particularly happy. And I think you're quite right. He's actually saying that how could Boer be offside from that goal kick?
Well, he shouldn't have been, but I'm guessing the assistant on the other side thought it was a free kick, because of the melee, and gave the decision. So
yeah, it was Faisal, the French assistant, who gave that. But anyway, eventually things are restored. It's a free kick which comes to nothing in the end. The French goalkeeper clearly collects it. So this game could go either way, and it's really spicy at the moment. This is what the Kentish Cup is all about, spicy stuff. Is that offside?
It is.
I think it looked clear. Valentin Lorichon was clearly in an offside position there. And I must admit, Steve, it irritates me, and I know it irritates an awful lot of football fans when the flags go up late, when it's clearly an offside decision. It's so obviously offside.
Yeah, I think the thing is, though, that the player might just walk away and not touch it, and that until he touches it, it's not offside. So that's a lot of the times. And you see some clever players will just walk away from it, and all of a sudden you're back in play.
Well, you do. But no, that's not needed there. A bit of afters going in there from Jimmy Haas there on Anthony Robic. I think there was just a little bit of contact between those two earlier, and I think if the referee had seen that, he might have taken rather a dim view of it.
Yeah, possibly, but the two players got on with it. They shook hands. I don't think they were phased.
These are servicemen, but they do get on with it.
Absolutely.
There's no rolling around in agony here unless someone has got a deep injury. So this will be a goal kick then to the Dutch, which will be taken by Mitchell van Danier. He'll be hoping to get that as far down the pitch as he possibly can. But in fact, it's an intelligent goal kick. The chase is on then from the big man. He keeps it in play, does Sven Bohr. What a difference that he has made to the Dutch team, hasn't he? Huge difference. And I'm quite proud of myself for suggesting he might do. French win the throw-in the end. It was Vincent Destiné whose clearance was pushed out of play. Destiné takes a hefty challenge there as well, and that'll come back for a free kick. There's no love lost between these two, is there?
No, the Dutch are leaving a little bit on most of their challenges at the moment. I think Ryan might have to take some action.
Nice composed play in midfield, but the ball is lost eventually by the French. The Dutch win it back. They'll win the throw-in. Quentin Bronner there did well, but the French couldn't make the most of that little bit of possession they won in midfield. Long ball hooked down the middle. The captain's gone forward now. The Dutch are definitely hunting for a winner here. There's no doubt about it. Comes back to Boer on the edge of the box. Looking to beat his man. Gets the great cross in. And on the end of it, oh, brilliant save. That is a fantastic save from the keeper. Oh, that looked like it was flying in. It was Balk with the shot. And a brilliant save there from Victor Poisson to deny the Dutch a second goal.
It was a great save with having not much to do, but I think he might have injured himself. He doesn't seem comfortable at the moment.
He's hurt it, yeah, he's holding his right wrist. He had to get down so close to save that. It was a magnificent save. And talking of players down, there is a man down on the pitch on that far side, just off the pitch now. And that is the French playmaker, really, Moussa Dalio, who's gone down. It was, I'm just looking, it was a pretty hefty challenge actually went in on him off the field, and he's still in a lot of discomfort there. I think he might have even run into the fence on that side of the pitch there, but he's off the field. The referee obviously and the linesman just talking to each other at the moment, so they can get a closer view. I think Don Friesen would have seen that, because he was the assistant referee on this right-hand side. Just a bit of a conversation going on as well with Ladislas Dunimar as well. And he's explained to the referee that he thinks it was an unfair challenge, and it could well be that Ryan Hetherington will have to have words with a Dutch defender. And technically, because he's off the field, play could be allowed to go on, but
yeah,
looks like he's going to be all right, which is good. He's holding his right wrist as well, is Dallo. But back we go once more with Wiggins. Goes back to find his defender, Bob Leemans, wearing number 6 for the Dutch. Time is rolling on here. We've only got around 3 minutes left of normal time in this Kentish Cup tie. It is 1-1 between the French and the Dutch, and you know, you've got to hand it to the Dutch team for the way they've come back into this game, Steve, because they looked sort of out of it really. If the French had taken half of their chances, they would be well ahead, but they haven't done, and the Dutch got that goal, and they're well back into this. And of course, this would mean that the Dutch couldn't win the Kentish Cup this year, but it also means that if it stayed like this, they might finish in second place if UCAF beat the French. But neither team is interested at all in a draw, as we keep saying, and it's the Dutch hooking it forward again, looking for the opportunity here on this right hand side. That's a brilliant interception there from Dallo, who's good to see him back in the game again, and none the worse for his adventures off the field. Wiggins will take the throw for the Dutch. Nodded on, but cleared by the French forces in the end. Mistake there, a bit of an air kick there from Abdel. Bouyahaya. Chase on then from Ladislas. Gets the cross in. Dutch will have to deal with this well, which they do in the end. It's hooked clear by Ondenier. He'll go for it again. It's nice, nicely played. Good cross ball there from Udven. And he finds Bois on the edge of the box. Oh, is it turned in? No, it isn't turned in. It's another great save from the goalkeeper at point blank range to deny Connell Bulk for a second time. And I'll tell you what, you know, the French have got their goalkeeper to thank for keeping them in the game.
They have two fantastic saves. That with the first one with his hands, that one with his feet, saving the game.
Well, my goodness me. Another substitution being made. Remy Custodio, the scorer of the French goal, is going off, and he's being replaced by, it looks like, Julien Lasalle, wearing number 21. He is, again, a man of experience with the French team in the Kentish Cup. He's one of the 6 players who has come back here for another go at this trophy, involved in the French team last year. But it's the Dutch who look kind of most likely at the moment to snatch a winner here. And I don't think we would have been saying that at half-time. But saying that, the French forces now. Well, I think he made the most of that challenge there, but I think there is going to be a yellow card is going to be brandished to the Dutch central defender there, Michel Ondenier. He takes a yellow. It wasn't actually the number 9 in the end. I think it was actually the Dutch number 9, wasn't it? Jimmy, no, also the 19. It wasn't on right first time. And we now are into stoppage time in this game. There'll probably be a few minutes. There have been a couple of breaks, and of course we have had a hatful of substitutions. So we. And was it a red card? It looks like he's gone off, but
second yellow.
Second yellow. A second yellow card. Yeah. The commentator didn't pick that one up, didn't he?
Well, Ryan just flashed it.
Very quickly flashed a red card. Yeah, for a second yellow. So the Dutch are down to 10 men. Now, is this going to make a difference?
He cannot.
He's a very important player. Free kick taken, flying in, and the man who's made that stop there is Sven Boer, who has been absolutely magnificent since he came on. Not only did he score the goal, but he's also played a major part in the defensive work there. The French, though, have a corner. We are into stoppage time here. The French forces and the Dutch forces are level at 1-1 in this Kentish Cup tie. Floated in, and it's into the net, and it's the substitute Ladislas Delimar who has scored the goal from the corner. Well, what an end to this game.
It was a cracking free kick, a cracking header. If it stays like this, the draw is still good enough for the UK forces. Doesn't really change a lot. I feel sorry for the Dutch. They played so well, got themselves back in the game. Obviously a second yellow. They were short at the back there, and the French got the goal.
Well, it's two substitutes who've made a real impact in this second half here. For the French, Ladislas Denimar has come on and he's headed in that goal from the corner. Brilliantly taken corner. The French goalkeeper, Victor Poisson, has kept the French in the game. Two brilliant opportunities for the Dutch, having equalised. And this is Kentish Cup football at its very, very best. And I just wonder whether that sending off at the end there for Van Danier has just made a difference. You know, a second yellow, two yellow cards, a red. The Dutch are down to 10, then they lose a big defender and they concede from a corner.
Yeah, no doubt it would have made a difference. But great free kick. It would have been hard to defend anyway. But the Dutch are pushing everyone forward to get that equaliser now.
Free kick then floated in. Goalkeeper comes and claims it really well. Does Victor Poisson, who, well, he's a bit of a hero for the French, really, with the two saves, both really from point-blank range that he's made.
Oh, that was close to a corner then.
Close to 8 seconds, was it?
It was, yeah, very, very close.
Remember that 8-second rule now, that if a goalkeeper holds on to the ball when he's collected it from an open play situation, then it's a corner to the opposition. I've only seen it happen a couple of times. Once in the Premier League, I saw it the weekend, and once in the Football League so far. But I'm sure it has happened up and down the country. But the Dutch still trying and pushing forward, looking for an opportunity. Oh, and again, it's just didn't slip the way that that Conor Balk was hoping for. And he's had both of those opportunities, which were magnificently saved by Victor Poisson. No, the ball got out of play. It did not go out of play. The Dutch still have it. But that was an unfortunate ball. And that is the final action of this game. And, well, everybody has given 100% here. It's the French who have won it. 2-1 with that late winner from Ladislas Denimar. Stuck his head in there, got the ball in from point-blank range from the corner. And it's the French forces, Steve, who have snuck it through and to win by 2-1.
They have, and it lines up a great match for Friday. A thoroughly enjoyable match. I've enjoyed every minute of it. The French being on top pretty much the whole of the first half, and then the Dutch changing their formation and coming back into it, and then that final win. It's been a great game.
It really has. And just sort of looking down, the players obviously exchanging pleasantries with each other, always played in a great spirit. It's highly competitive stuff. You've got to feel for the Dutch in a way, because they really came back into that game in the second half, particularly after they got that equaliser. They've actually come away with nothing. But it was the French who opened the scoring in the first half. It was Remy Custodio who got on the end to score the opening goal and put the French 1-0 ahead in the first half. He took the goal really, really well. To be fair, and we had to wait a long time, of course, then for the second goal for them to score, but it was brilliantly taken in the end by their substitute Sven Boer, who made a huge difference. He came on the pitch, he really put himself about, and he got the equaliser. This was actually just after Milan Boxtel had a chance to get the equaliser for the Dutch in the end. And again, Boer played really well in a defensive role. But then we had that last-minute yellow card, second yellow for Michel Van Danier, and from the corner that resulted after that, it was the French who took the lead. The corner came in, and well, it was Ladislas Denimar who went in there to score the winning goal, and that sets up, of course, the showdown on Friday, which we're going to be looking forward to now, with UK Armed Forces against the French, to decide once again the outcome of the Kentish Cup for 2025. Steve. mouth-watering prospect.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I will be watching it on Forces TV. Won't be here and I'll be nice and warm at home watching it on Forces TV.
Well, I'm glad that your Aldershot Town regalia has kept you warm this afternoon. But that's it from here. We've had a thoroughly enjoyable second match in this season's Kentish Cup competition. Thank you so much for joining us. We will, as I say, be back here on Friday to bring you the outcome of an exciting Kentish Cup football competition. But from me, John Knighton, from Steve and all the rest of the team here this afternoon, from Kath and also our camera team and also our engineering team here as well today, and from all of us at BFBS on Forces News. Thanks for joining us here on our Forces News YouTube channel. We'll be back with you on Friday. Don't miss it. Kick off 2 o'clock when UCAF take on the French forces. Because they are the Kentish Cup champions.
Referee blows his whistle. UCAF have beaten the French armed forces here.
It's a good save. And that's a fantastic ball through. And he scores! He goes in and he off to the back of the net. Takes it, scores! UCAF have beaten the French armed forces here in a famous victory. He's in the net. Touchdown with a real opportunity. They have got the